Afternoon all, how are we? Hope you're good. Well, welcome back to the final whistle then. So this afternoon we're going to go through the Tom Collomosse's latest article on Leicester City. There's a lot to discuss. I'm Danny Röhl, Marti Cifuentes, Bilal El Khannouss, Conor Coady, summer transfer targets and next season's young players and much more. So if you've got any questions in the chat, get involved as always. Hit that like button for me if you enjoyed this stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. Please get down and do so. We're going to go through the article. We're going to talk about all the key points and everything like that. So, yeah, just get involved. Really appreciate it. Kyle, how are we, mate? Hope you're well. JC74, hello. How are we? Is it me or do we actually play twice next Friday? We do, yeah. We do play twice next Friday. Ray, how are we, mate? Big up to you from the States, mate. Hope you're good. Callum, how are we? Hope you're good. Like I say, big up to everyone who's joined. Really appreciate it. We have a lot to discuss regarding this show, by the way. So we try and stay consistent as possible. We do try and get and talk about news as much as we can get it. We're also going to talk about James Justin. We're going to talk about Josh Windass. We're going to talk about that on top of Tom Collomosse's article. So if anyone's not read it, I have paid the £2, so you don't have to. And yeah, I'm going to show it you on screen and we're going to chat. That's the first, I take it. It's two different teams. Yeah, it's two different teams. Training, cooking, quite competitive at times. That's what you want, though, isn't it? A manager who's going to get his stamp on things straight away, you know, and tell the players exactly what he wants and get them on board with the ideas and that. And James Justin and Conor Coady, Hamza Chowdhury have very much spoke about the intensity, how he wants to go about things, the style of football, which they very much like and everything like that. So, Paul, how are we, mate? Hope you're well. Afternoon to you. Right, where do we start? Of course we are. We're going to start with this article. Let me share my screen. And then we can get cracking. So, Tom Collomosse has called it the transfer briefing. That's what he's called it, by the way. Like I say, I paid the £2, so you don't have to. So, Leicester City transfer briefing, the truth about compensation paid for Marti Cifuentes, the two first-team regulars allowed to leave, and the latest on Bilal El Khannouss' future. Right, so let me get rid of this. Oh, what we done? We don't want that. That's not good. I am trying to get rid of it, but it's not working. But, right, Tom Collomosse's put a lot of time into this and breathe. Finally, Leicester City have a manager, though. Sadly, for the Foxes, that is just the first piece of the jigsaw, which is a big jigsaw if we talk about Leicester City, by the way. Marti Cifuentes joins a club who must reduce their high wage bill dramatically. And all will almost certainly suffer a points deduction when they do not know, although Leicester would love to have the answers before the Championship campaign starts in less than a month. Here, Mail Sport delves into the process that led Leicester City to Marti Cifuentes and, well, as looking the players who could from core of his side and who may not longer be required. One thing is for certain, life is never dull at Leicester. Exactly. It's a roller coaster, isn't it? So, the first topic we're going to discuss, who does Marti Cifuentes want to keep? So, the Spaniard has an impressive track record of working with young players and will try to build his team around the best of them, like Ben Nelson, Casey McAteer, and, of course, 16-year-old Jeremy Monga. So, it very much looks like it with what Tom Collomosse is saying is that he wants to build around the youth, the young players. He wants to something to build for the future, which is a good sign, by the way. So that means we don't have to bring in 31-year-olds. There's Jeremy Monger. Right. Cifuentes is also excited to work with Abdul Fatawu, who sustained a serious knee injury last autumn, just when he was finding his stride in the Premier League. He will also look closely at Jake Evans, who made his debut in the Premier League, and Louis Page, who has also looked sharp in early part of pre-season. He will need some experience too, though, who Leicester keep is not entirely in his control, as the club needs to sell to generate funds. So getting all the bigger wage earners off the wage bill is a fantastic idea to start off with, Leicester City. Noni Madueke has announced he's leaving Chelsea, £52 million. That's not really Leicester related, so let's get rid of that. A word on Louis Page. The 17-year-old has 2 years left on his scholarship contract to run, and Leicester are relaxed about the situation. So a few weeks ago, I think it was Peter O'Rourke in the Footy Insider reporting that he has turned down a contract, this, that, and the other. Leicester are relaxed about the situation regarding Louis Page. Keeping Jeremy Monger is easily the brightest news of a dire year for the football club, and proved they are prepared to give a chance to the youngsters, which is going to be the main factor this season, isn't it? Regarding how Leicester City go about things. Terry, how are we, mate? Hope you're well. Yeah, it's 10:30. We play not 12:30 in Cologne at 4. Yeah. So, what are the transfer priorities at Leicester City? So these are transfer priorities, for they will not be easy to realise, with Leicester targeting a striker this transfer window, a left-sided midfielder and a number 6. So that could probably mean the end of Buba Samare's time at Leicester, Wilfred Ndidi's and many more. As well as a goalkeeper if Mads Hermansen departs. So if Mads goes, Leicester want another goalkeeper. Is that sort of saying to me that he wants another number 1? He doesn't trust Stolasic? Is it the case that we want a number 2? Who knows? Because it's not being specific, but we want another goalkeeper if Mads Hermansen departs. So that sort of tells me he's not probably putting his trust into Stolasic at all. And he wants another number 1 goalkeeper, to be fair, because we made this mistake with Kasper Schmeichel, didn't we? We let Kasper leave for like £1 million, whoever it was, to Nice, and then we ended up not going for a number 1 keeper and then putting Danny Ward there and putting Daniel Everson his second choice. So it's not the greatest of decisions by the football club. It's many of mistakes that they have made, but yeah, they've got a lot to put right. Jacob will be gone if he's not number 1. Yeah, well, Norwich were the ones interest early on in the window, but it remains to be seen what's going to happen there. But they are the transfer targets then. A striker, which is very much needed, a left-sided midfielder, a number 6, and Mads Hermansen departing. What will happen with Bilal El Khannouss? So there's been a lot of speculation out there regarding the release clause, what it is, what it isn't. Rob Dorset did say that Leicester want 25 million plus or more to even consider El Khannouss leaving. So Tom Collomosse has put in his article, the Moroccan was one of Leicester's most eye-catching players last term, and despite the club's relegation, he did enough to generate top-flight interest in signing him. The fee is the sticking point at this point. However, Leicester paid £20 million for the 21-year-old and would want a substantial return on their investment if he is to be sold. Mail Sport understands no club has proposed anything close to the Foxes' valuation. So Leicester have a valuation for him. There's speculation, aren't they, regarding the release clause and whatever it is. A €25 million release clause, which means we don't get much. And then there's a sell-on clause like 15%, if that's what reporters are saying. I think it was Sacha Taglieri who put that out. But yeah, Rob Dorset obviously said that it really just doesn't look like there's a release clause, does it? To be fair, it looks very much like Leicester want 25 million or more. And this one looks very much the same, because why would you want to buy a player and then sell him for the same amount? It's not really good business, is it? It's awful business. And you never go into any market of the transfer and think, that's going to be the future plan. Selling them at the same price. It's ridiculous. You always want to make a significant profit on these players. And Bilal El Khannouss has got huge potential, by the way, and you want to make some good money on him if you are to consider selling him this transfer window. So for me, I kind of feel that we could keep him. We can very much play hardball on this. It's not that we have to sell him, which we're not being forced to sell players to comply with PSR. Let's be fair, like last season when we sold Keenan Dewsbury Hall to Chelsea for like 30 odd million, which is a sticking point, to be honest, with what the price is for Leicester City. We can play hardball. We could want to keep him as much as the next one. So maybe we need to look at selling other players first instead of Bilal, to be honest, and hopefully keep our key players. He's valued at about 30, but surely you'd want about 40. Exactly. Mads Hermansen, they wanted about 40 million last summer. They wanted 40 million from Chelsea, and then Chelsea ended up thinking, you know what, I'm going to have other ideas here. I don't want it. So, but all of a sudden, Leicester, I think, will want a big amount for him. Let's be fair. If it's Nottingham Forest, you want about 100 mil, don't you, to be finished? Can't imagine Bilal is on the highest of wages. No, I don't think he is either, Paul, to be fair. Bilal's a good player. He's not the finished article. There's still a lot to develop on. There's still a lot to do in his career, a lot to progress, and to improve quite drastically, to be fair. So I think he is good for like a bottom half Premier League side. I don't think he's at the levels of Manchester City or even Arsenal yet. I know he's been linked to Liverpool and that, but for me, it just isn't right now. Keep him another 12 months and it could be worth 80 million, it could be worth 60 million. Exactly. For me, I think this is what Marti is going to be key to be doing in Austria. Have that conversation with Bilal and say, you're going to be the main man next season, Bilal. You're going to be a really key part of this team. This is what we're going to build a team around you. We want you to be here, and you're the man of our future here, and you're the main man next season. So hopefully, Cifuentes can actually have them conversations with him, and hopefully we can keep him for another year, and then we could say, okay, then, well, you gave us a year. Thank you very much. We respect that, and now we can look to earn bigger money on you. So maybe that's the conversations we have. I don't know. It's only one thing to sell short just to get big wages off the books, but never sell short on young talent players. Exactly. Sunderland paying 65 grand per week. I think he's on about 35k. That's an interesting one, to be fair. I think he signed a 3-year deal with Leicester, did he, Bilal? To Forest, 100 million, a 20% sell-on clause. Exactly that, yeah. It's not really a step up to Sunderland, though, is it? I'll be honest. It's not a step up because I think Sunderland will go down next season. They have given themselves a good fighting chance of staying up. I do think they'll go back down to the Championship. No disrespect, but yeah, Bilal's not going to want to go to a relegation sort of favourite side, is he? And then get relegated again and then end up in the same situation. If we somehow manage to keep him, exactly. One of the lads were talking about it yesterday, I think it was Steve or Clibbo last night on the late night whistle. And they said, imagine this, Stefan Mavididi as the striker, Fatawu out right, Monga out left, and Bilal El Khannouss is the centre attacking mid, feeding that front three. Could you imagine that in the Championship? I think defenders would have headaches, wouldn't they? They wouldn't want to even bother playing at that point. Money talks, it does. Money does talk. That, you know, money doesn't realistically talk regarding. We can't hear what it's saying, but you know, when you sort of pay these things out, mate, that exactly as it is. But carrying on with the article, so one option to be considered is a year's loan with an obligation to buy. I just think that's ridiculous. I think that would be a ridiculous move if we loan him out with an obligation to buy. That's just daft, in my opinion. You know, if you want to sell him, you want to make the money for him. It's no good sending him out on loan. That's not good. You know, Leicester want to keep as many good players as they can next season. El Khannouss signed a 4-year deal, meaning his book value is now about £15 million. Really? See, I think it should be about the same price, to be fair. This guy has a high ceiling, I'll be honest. He signed a 4-year deal, not a 3. If he played well, he's got 3 years left on his current deal, though. So if he played well on loan in the Premier League for a season, his price would increase greatly in 12-month time, and reduced book value would generate higher profit. Yeah, but he could do that by becoming one of the top players in the Championship this season. I don't know about Steffi striker. Just ask Bilal El Khannouss where he wants to play. Exactly. The thing is with us as fans, and that we don't know which players want to go and which ones want to stay. People can say, well, so-and-so wants to go. What about if he don't? What about if it's just agent talk or speculation? Because agents like to make a lot of money this time a month, don't they? They like to say whatever and get the players the best moves as possible. Do you get what I mean? So, yeah, it's an interesting one. But who else could leave? So this is an interesting talking point as well. Mail Sport can reveal that Leicester City have yet to receive a firm bid for Wilfred Ndidi. Obviously, there's been many reports about interest from Bundesliga, Saudi Arabia, Premier League, even though there has been inquiries for the Nigerian midfielder. So his relegation clause is £9 million. We can make money on Ndidi. Apparently, we've took another loan out. We have, which I'm going to discuss in a minute if I can actually. Let me actually go and get that up, actually, while I'm actually here. We will discuss the loan situation and that. Why I'm here, Terry. Thanks for bringing it up, mate. Appreciate it. Appreciate you helping me out, Tez. Let's have a look. Let me find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, hello. There it is. Right. Oh, there it is. Right. We'll talk about that in a minute, Terry. A loan move with obligation to buy on Bilal is such a Rudkin thing to do. It is. Wouldn't surprise me if a top 6 earners at Leicester City want to stay. Indeed, he looks comfortable and happy in training. Exactly. You know, Wilf has been in many years. He's spent many years in the Premier League. The thing is, a lot of speculation gets thrown about, doesn't it? That's the way media works. If they didn't have a story, mate, they wouldn't sell, would they? But a 28-year-old would be allowed to depart, as would goalkeeper Mads Hermansen. The Dane was courted by Chelsea last summer, and an offer of about 40 million was proposed, although never formally submitted. Although Enzo Maresca is a huge fan of Hermansen and brought him into Leicester City, Chelsea already have 4 goalkeepers, and Robert Sanchez improved his standing with some strong displays at the Club World Cup. The goalkeeper market is notoriously difficult. Just ask Aston Villa, who would have been prepared to sell Emi Martinez all summer but have yet to receive a serious bid. Keep an eye on West Ham, though, who have just appointed Hermansen's fellow Dane, Kasper Ankergren, as goalkeeper coach. Victor Christensen, meanwhile, has interest in Serie A, where he helped Bologna reach the Champions League in 23-24. So, yeah, so Mads and Ndidi are very much allowed to leave, according to reports. If there is no story, just make one up. Exactly. That's the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? That's the way the roll, to be honest. And that's the way it is. But yeah, interest for Christensen then from the Serie A. What about the high earners? I mean, this one's a big sticking point, isn't it? High earners. We want to get rid of a few, don't we? Unfortunately for Leicester, there is more surgery needed on that squad than simply making a couple of big sales. Leicester City's Conor Coady was the subject of an approach from Rangers 2 weeks ago, but that has yet to be followed up officially. And Coady was happy to travel to Austria for a pre-season camp. So Daily Record have been reporting that it's advanced, it's this, it's that. And now it's coming out that it actually hasn't. There's not been a follow-up officially by Rangers. Yet Rangers remain interested unless interest remains, and unless Cifuentes is counting on the former Wolves defender, that deal could still go ahead. So the deal could still go ahead. They've not followed it up officially as of yet. Then there is Yannick Vestergaard, Harry Winks, Jordan Ayew, James Justin, Oliver Skipp, Bobby D. Cordova-Reid and others on substantial wages. Earlier this summer, Vestergaard was thought to be willing to reach a settlement on the remaining 2 years of his contract, though such arrangements are easier said than done. And the Dane has subsequently said he is open to staying. So Vestergaard has said he's open to staying. I'm not surprised with the bloody wages he's on, let's be honest. Where is McBurney going? Not to Leicester, mate. He's not one I'd be interested in anyway. VK, I'd give him a lift to Italy sooner. Have Luke Thomas. What's going on with Danny Ward and Rex? Danny Ward's already gone to Wrexham, mate. Good riddance. Have you seen Mads make a saving training? Strangely, all coverage is focused on Jakub. Josh Windass is on a free. If we have no cash, could see them taking him. But that's the position we're in, innit? You know what I mean? That's the position. Was Coady happy to travel to Austria? Well, according to what I'm reading here, he was. So Vestergaard is what we're learning is open to staying unless Leicester City decide, you know what, we don't want you anymore. See you later, out the door. We've learned also from this article that Conor Coady, the Rangers haven't really made a follow-up on it. But it doesn't say that he won't go there at some point. And also Serie A are interested in Victor Christensen. So far, there's been scant interest in James Justin, who looks a shadow of himself, who capped for England. So there's been interest in James Justin, which what I'm going to read to you in a minute with is an interesting one. Parachute payments are saying all these players, why take out a loan? Just wondering. Terry, I think it's all to do with the Premier League money, in it till 2028 and all these transfer fees that we have to wait for, because all these transfers nowadays all get took into, like, how do I put it? They all get put into like, like installments type of thing. And Leicester City want the full money. So that's why. Then the parachute payments, that money as well. The Dutchkins, Danny will probably be number one for Wales with Hennessy retiring. Glad. Well, that's the guy the cookie crumbles, mate, I'm afraid. What led Leicester City to Cifuentes then? So when Chairman Ayuat Schreiber had a papa flew to London earlier this month to conduct interviews, there was a school of thought at Leicester that an experienced boss was needed, with Chris Wilder was a strong contender. Right, reading more. Yet Cifuentes won the day with an impressive interview and presentation, as well as similar approach to that of Enzo Maresca, who led Leicester to promotion just a year ago. Intriguingly, the Foxes believe Cifuentes showed more tactical flexibility than the Italian, who came under fire from some of the supporters for his rigid philosophy. Mail Sport can also reveal that the compensation paid to QPR for Marti Cifuentes was in fact considerably less than 500k. Leicester believe the Spaniard has the personality to unite a notoriously difficult dressing room with a broad age range. His connections to Nordic football could also prove crucial in what remains of the window. So that is how Marti Cifuentes come to Leicester. Good interview, good presentation. Speaks well, very much Enzo-esque in what the club's looking for. Sounds like Conor Coady's pushing for move to Rangers, although they've already brought another two in that position. Rangers, kudos on pronouncing top surname. I try and I can't pronounce it at all. Schreiber had a papa. I think that's how you pronounce it. Rangers should get, I don't know that is with Josh Windass. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Lex, to be fair, mate, but that is how Cifuentes come to Leicester. So obviously he did pay his compensation and that, or half of it anyway. And yeah, good to see that he's very much hands-on with the squad so far. There was kind of a part that I wanted to show him in training yesterday.
Let's go. Yes, Conor. Conor. Keep it here. They're not coming. Keep it. Once they come here, now I play here. And now I come, I can use the 3 touches here. No problem.
That guy is vocal. That guy he apparently has a high ceiling. He's very hands-on with the squad. He demands the respect and demands everything from the off. And this is what they need. They need someone to come in and really shake it up at Seagrave. And I think this guy can do that, definitely. It's one that they can get on board with. I think the style of football will suit many of them players in that squad, especially the ones that are coming through as well. That's interesting if he's not so stubborn as Enzo. Matt made subs a bit earlier to suit the game exactly. Why are Leicester dragging their feet with Coady and getting him off the wage with his priority surely? I just think things take time, Terry, to be fair. I think there's not much time left, to be honest. I think there's, about just over, 6 weeks or so till the window ends. Just over. He's on the ball, reminds me of a Cobra. Yeah, he's proper Catalan, isn't he? Let's be fair, he's a proper hands-on coach. He demands the best, and he wants his team to do the hard yards and really work hard for him. And he demands that, and that's what we need. Someone who's the team can really communicate with. I mean, this guy taught several languages: Portuguese, French, Scandinavian, a lot of languages, and it'd be good to see that he can talk to the squad in different languages as well. The ones who obviously talk different languages and that. And yeah, it's good to see that he can. That helps build the relationship with the squad as well, you know. So it's good he can always have them conversations with the squad and really help them bed in a lot more and can build that relationship with him. So moving on, what about the points deduction? So when Leicester City were charged for breaking Premier League spending rules earlier this year, the hope on both sides was that there would be a verdict before the start of the Championship campaign. Well, actually, before that, we've missed a little bit. A side note on the manager search, even though Danny Röhl has a firm admirer at Leicester and technical director Martin Glover. Obviously, Danny Röhl was a big name coming out of it, that we were very much linked with him, and this, that, and the other. He probably would come the next coach, Leicester coach. It never happened. Understood that Sheffield Wednesday boss was not interviewed for the role. Of compensation issue was apparently the issue for that. So Danny Röhl was the name that got very much mentioned a lot, bandied about and all that, and he never got interviewed. It was funny when he called Skip over and Skip was about to put his arm around Marty, but thought better of it last minute. Like I say, he wants to talk to them players and get a real understanding. But yeah, points deduction. With less than a month until the action begins, there is frustrating silence on that score. It will also have an effect on recruitment. A player joining Leicester City wants to know whether his chance of promotion will be hold below the waterline from day one. And until that picture is clear, Leicester are in a tricky position. A points deduction needs to not be insurmountable, though. In 2007-2008, Leeds began their League One season on minus 15 points. They wiped it out by winning their first 5 games and missed out on promotion only by losing the playoffs to Doncaster the following spring. Interesting stuff. So yeah, Leeds did end up on, what was it, minus 15 in 2007 and 8. They did make playoffs. Well, it is what it is. It's not our concern anymore, is it? I'm quite scared of seeing how I'm getting close to Skip. I don't want him starting. Well, I didn't want him starting last season. He's not worth £20 million. Let's be fair. Like I say, he wants to get the sport levels high, you know. Cifuentes, you can see it in the picture with Fatawa. He's very much, he puts his arms around these players. So, yeah, it's good to see. But more on everything else regarding, I tell you what, we'll talk about the loan in a minute. But this one, Josh Windass. So Windass is very much a free agent, and sources are that Josh Windass has a number of clubs interested, including Leicester, which it doesn't really surprise me, to be honest, with Leicester City being interested. We always seem to be interested in a lot of players. He's 31 years old, by the way. He's an attacking midfielder, is Josh Windass. and I'm just trying to get his stats up. Actually, he's not one that I'd eagerly want. To be fair, Wrexham, Norwich, Wrexham again. Bloody hell, interested twice. Leicester, do you know, a derby expected to make decision this week. So we're one of the clubs interested in Josh Windass, obviously son of Dean Windass, by the way. Josh Windass has been at Sheffield Wednesdays for a fair bit since like 2021 season, I think it is. Let's have a look at all his stats. Let's have a look. So last season, he scored 13 goals in a Sheffield Wednesday side. And the season before that, he scored 7. And then a season before that, he got another fair few goals, which would have been the FA Cup and that, League One and everything like that. So he ended up working, what did he get? 4th or 15, 16 goals. Season 4, he's obviously played for Rangers and Wigan and, of course, Accrington Stanley. Who were they exactly? So, yeah, obviously Leicester are only... I mean, we're not in a position to bring in big signings, are we? Let's be fair. I think we've just got to go what we'll go with. But it's a no for me. But we need a good enough striker. I'm not saying we're going to sign the next Jamie Vardy, but we need to realistically stop going for these 30-year-olds. We need players who are like 25 and under, to be honest, who's really up and coming. Skip has to be the worst signing behind Akin Bayer. 31, he needs to go to Wrexham. Greetings from down under. Hello, Per Fox. How are we, mate? No thanks. No 31 plus. Nice to see Andy King. Officially, he's a first-team coach on the website. Yeah, it's good to see King Ian in it. You know, he can pass his real thing on to different things. And I think he'll be good. So... It's good to see Andy King is very hands-on as well in Austria. You know, it's good to see that he's very much giving him that sort of role, Cifuentes, and I think he'll actually build something good. He can pass the insight into what he's been working on with the squad and all that during the first 2 pre-season games. And you know, obviously Leicester City play tomorrow, don't they? I'm not going to bloody mention the teams. I can't bloody pronounce the name. So. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Foss up, how are we, mate? Hope you're well, fella. Good to see you in as always. Keep up the good work, mate, regarding all the news and that. Obviously, you've got a good page, good following, and yeah, it's good. It's good stuff that I actually read on your page, and yeah, you're very good with bringing everything out quite quickly and that, and yeah, big up to you damn self. Right. James Justin's one I want to touch on, actually, because James Justin, I think I'd keep him next season ahead of Christensen anyway. Besiktas want to sign James Justin from Leicester City with a transfer fee. So apparently the Turkish side are very much interested. I know Daniel Amarty's been there. Rashid Gazelle's been there. But yeah, James Justin. How much is James Justin worth is the main thing. We could actually get a decent fee for him, actually, if I'm honest with you, but it's how much Besiktas, because these sort of sides, man, they try like lowballing a lot, don't they? And that's what annoys me quite often with these sides. They'll say, oh, we'll pay a certain amount. And then it's like, yeah, we don't really get it. No, cheers. It's all right, mate. I think Andy Hughes will be off. He looked miserable. I mean, that, and mate, do you know what? Don't look into this. It's fake. One of them Turkish accounts wanted me to post fake exclusive, and in return, I'd get followed. Yeah, it's not good, is it? So maybe it will be the James Justin one is fake, and yeah, it's not good. You don't want to do something like that and end up getting followers. Xavi Khan will be in charge for set pieces, I reckon. JJ doesn't seem the type to move to Turkey. I don't think so either. I don't think he'll leave. Personally, I think we can keep him. I think he's a player that he's got a year left on his contract, though, hasn't he, James Justin at Leicester City? Ricardo has, Jordan Ayew, Patson Daka, Harry Winks. So there's quite a few players. He's only got a year left on his deal. That's the thing. That is the very much thing. So it's just one of them things, isn't it, to be honest? And it's something to see how Leicester City will go regarding who leaves and who doesn't. And James Justin would be a good left back next season, his option, let's be fair. Ricardo, right back. I mean, them two fit the system of Enzo quite well, didn't they, Justin and Ricardo, when Leicester were in the Championship last time? And yeah, they fit the system well last time, and I thought they worked well. They were versatile, Justin and Ricardo, last time under Enzo. West Yorkshire Auditor, how are we, pal? Hope you're well. Good evening. Hello. Afternoon. Ross, how are we? Hopefully we'll see some outgoings, meaning the ones we want to see leave. It's all right wanting to see these players leave. It's Leicester City getting rid of them. So that's the thing, Ross. It's all right wanting to get rid of these players, but you don't know who actually wants to go and who actually wants to stay. Do you get what I mean? There's been no, obviously, rumours if people went to force moves. I know there's been a little speculations in that, saying El Khannouss don't want to be here and that. But it's all just speculation. This is what I think it is until someone like John Percy speaks or Rob Dorsett or something like that, and then I can just believe that's going to happen. Coady, I want God more than, in my opinion, 70 grand a week, mate. You want to get as many of these people off the wage bill, if I'm honest with you. So it's a tough one, of course. Agree, Ross. Yeah, Terry's agreeing with Ross. Right, so Leicester City handed financial boost for potential summer transfer push. The club have taken out another loan with Austrian bank and Marti Bank, potentially to help their transfer business this summer under their new manager, Marti Cifuentes. Leicester City have taken out another bank loan ahead of the new championship season. The loan is secured against Premier League funds owed to Leicester City until June 2028, including parachute payments. They are due to receive following their fall into the Championship. Previously, loans have been taken out to aid cash flow at the club, with those Premier League central payments a major source of the club's income. So, Leicester City, loans from Marti Bank are the best part of a decade now, usually secured against Premier League central funding, but occasionally to receive owed transfer fees up front. Club often negative sales to be paid in instalments, but then use Marti Bank to get the full immediately. It's something that they've done in all, including the Dewsbury Hall one. This week's loan is their second taken out this year, secured against the Premier League's payments of 2028. Now City are in the Championship. Broadcast and sponsor revenue will drop sharply in their last Championship campaign. The club's turnover was down 72 million on the relegation season the season before. For their part in last season's Premier League, City will receive an estimated £117 million as part of their share of the broadcast deal. So they're going to be getting £117 million as part of the broadcast deal, Leicester City. Evening, Jack. Keep up the great content. Are you looking forward to tomorrow's must-win game against the mighty Zalegzi? Zalegzi? Is that how you pronounce it? It might be Zalegzi. That's probably how you pronounce it, to be fair. Zalegzi. I'm sorry if I bloody butchered that, but I do apologise. But Zalegzi is what I'm going to call him. I'm looking forward to it. I always look forward to games to watch. Most obviously, it's going to be one. It's good to see football's watch. We can watch it on YouTube and that. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a must-win game, mate. It's more like a training exercise and see what Cifuentes can work with. I think Coady, being a leader, talks a good game. I've never seen it on the pitch, mate, honestly. Surely the club should be saying no incomings until we have sold on a fair amount of high earners. Exactly my point, Scott. I agree with everything you're saying, but hopefully we've discussed everything regarding summer transfer targets and positions, striker, left-sided midfielder, a number 6, and of course another goalkeeper. Coady to Rangers has also been discussed. Bilal El Khannouss, buy or sell. What happened to Danny Röhl? We've discussed that as well. Marti Cifuentes is compensation booster in next season's young players. So we've discussed everything, and hopefully that more will come from Leicester City over the next few weeks now as the season builds up. We're not far away until Leicester City take on Sheffield Wednesday. We are about 23 days until the season starts. I'm just check my calendar. Is there still interest in Wout Fast from Lazio? I think that's gone dead in the water, really, mate, to be fair. Just there's been nothing on that. Might need Coldplay to help crack players out with their Coldplay camp. Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully more to come. Guys, if you enjoyed your stream, hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. Please get down and do so. We'll try and be consistent with these streams going forward. We'll have a few more the late night whistle to come up during these next week and that as well, as we'll just chat with Clibbo, Steve, whoever wants to come on and have a chat, we'll feel free to come on. But if you're new around here, hit the like button for me, subscribe to the channel, push that notification bell if you haven't already. I'll tell you every time we are live, so you won't miss a thing here at the final whistle. Appreciate all the support. Take care. Have a good rest of the afternoon, wherever you're up to, and keep it at the final whistle.